Alright guys, so today I want to go over editors, editing, and how to find them, how to use them, talk a little bit about it here in the beginning, kind of going over why you should use them, maybe why you shouldn't. But to get the cat out of the bag, I use editors for all my real estate editing. I do not edit myself. And I know that might come as a shock to some people. I got a comment asking this, and maybe it surprises you that I don't, because I give so many tutorials on how to do this all yourself. But I don't do it because I am too busy. I edit all of my own like specialty work, so think custom homes, remodels, architecture, landscaping, but a lot of my small business clients, anything that's really not real estate photography and time sensitive, I do all myself. But when you're on that tight 24-hour turnaround, and even tighter sometimes, there's no way I could do it, especially with running this business, with doing YouTube, with doing all my content creation and stuff. There's no way. So today I want to go over how to find the editors, what editors are good, who I use, and who I would recommend. And first we have to talk a little bit about kind of the dirty term or word of editors, because a lot of people get very sensitive about it. And there is nothing wrong with editors. There's nothing wrong with using editors. Everybody does. And if people say that they don't, honestly, they're probably lying. Because the biggest reason why is for years I didn't use editors, and I was very proud of that fact, and it was something I thought differentiated myself. But there's nothing wrong with working with contractors and people who are good at their job, and being able to send your stuff out to work with people who are good at one part of it and managing that. That is a smart business move. That is a smart business owner. And so do not be afraid of using editors. Be a good business owner. Be a good photographer, because everybody collabs, man. Musicians, artists, everybody collabs, right? Like nobody does it all themselves. And so if you can find somebody who you're happy with and good with, do it. So let's get into editing. That'll be our last one. This is our first one here. This is Pineapple Labs. This is a local editor, local company here out of Denver, Colorado. These are all overseas editors. There is nobody in the United States who does editing. If they do, it's extremely expensive because, again, one of the biggest reasons we're using overseas editors. Number one is timing, because if you want to have it done in the morning, they work through the night because it's not nighttime over there. The other reason is because it's just a different wage over there provides for a middle-class living. And I'm not going to sit here and say that paying 35 cents for a photo is doing that. I'm not going to say that I know that it is, but I use editors who are more expensive. And the reason I use more expensive ones is because I like paying people who are good at what they do. And I want to be able to pay people what they feel that they deserve. I constantly ask my editors if they need more money, because I want to make sure that they're doing it right. And they're getting paid well for doing it that way, because I take care of them, they take care of me. I don't have a problem charging my clients more. I'm not the cheapest in my area, and I'm not going to be. But these guys have an editing service that they use. They have an all-in-one backend, really, really nice. They do HDR editing, I would say, is their best thing. They can do flambient. These guys are pretty good, pretty middle of the road. I'd give them a 5 out of 10. They have video editing services, Twilight. Their website chunks around, which I really don't enjoy. But they also cater to real estate agents who are looking for a do-it-yourself option. They work with Coldwell Banker. They also contract out to me for photography work when some of those Coldwell Banker agents need stuff. I've talked to the owners. They're real cool guys. They're really nice. Real tech industry people. They used to have... I can't remember. They had some other website that I remember that they sold, made a bunch of money off of, and now they're trying to they want to kind of be the DoorDash of, or not really DoorDash, I guess, or like Uber of real estate photography, where they're kind of like an all-in-one hub for you to come and get what you want. But they're good. I would highly recommend them if you're looking for something to get your dip your toes in the water and see about editors. They're pretty good. I've had a couple issues with some of their shoots. I don't use them anymore because I want something higher quality, and they're good, but they're not great. But I still think they're good enough if you're getting started, you don't want to spend a lot of money, and you want something that's good enough. Maybe they're good enough for you. Test them out. They're pretty good. Next place I would recommend is Pixlmob. So Pixlmob is a great place to go and find an editor. This is a marketplace for editors. You can come and find out what they do, and you can see their rating. You can click into them. You can see how much it costs per photo, how many they can do per day, the turnaround time, all the different image specialties that they can do, and examples of their work, right? So you can see his changing of the seasons, which is pretty freaking wild. But yeah, it's a great place to come in here. There's tons. I think there's a few hundred people on here. And again, you're not working with one person. You are most likely, you are working with a team of editors. Some of these guys definitely are when they're accepting like 50 a day. That's pretty standard. But if they're accepting anything over 100 to 200 a day, sometimes 1,000 a day, you're working with a team. So bear that in mind. But a lot of times they're really, really good, and you can see their reviews and everything. I'd highly recommend them. I would give this one like a solid 7 out of 10. I've had really, really good experiences on here with a bunch of different editors, so I'd highly suggest going through here, checking it out. They don't give any free trials on these, but you can usually send them just like 5 photos for a couple bucks and just see what they give you, and go from there. The third one I would recommend is Fotober. Fotober has been my bread and butter for a long time. Really, really like these guys. Really easy ordering. They reached out to me on Instagram, and I have contacts through them on Instagram that I use personally. I don't actually order through their website. Gracie is one of them. Trang is another one. There's a couple of them. They're really, really nice. They're really good at what they do. These guys I would give an 8 out of 10. They're fantastic. I've only ever had like one issue with them. I brought it up to them. They corrected it, and I've not had any issues with them. They do a lot of work, a lot of volume, but fantastic. I've never had issues with them. Highly recommend. They have a ton of different services that you could use them for. They do give a free trial, and you can look them up. Just look up somebody on Fotober on Instagram, and you'll find some of them. But they do give a free trial, and I'd highly recommend using them. They've been fantastic to me. But these guys right here, Ursin Edit, I don't know, uredit.com. I'm not entirely sure how to say it. These guys have been a very, very great team, because I like a little more natural of a style. I don't like the hard window pulls. I don't like the really crazy flamboyant edits. I like something that's a little more natural, and these guys are fantastic. Their editing system is extraordinarily complicated at first. It was really, really different from anything I've ever had. You get a trial with them, and they actually pick you from looking at your work. You don't pick them, so they will edit for you, and they'll send it back, and then basically you have to get the green light from them to work with them, because they only want to work with certain people and people who shoot a certain way. But they're fantastic. I did my trial with them. This trial input link was confusing to me. This is just your like Dropbox for the raw files or stuff like that. So that's just where you're going to have your photos. If you're going to do the trial, put it in there, send it to them. If you want to say referred, you can say that I referred you. You can use WGY or Will Gay Photography. They will know who I am. And they might give you a deal. I don't know. They like to give credits out for referrals and stuff like that, like a $100 credit, which is pretty cool, which is a couple properties. But I don't know if they will or not, but you can try it and see what they do. But they're great. I really, really like them. The reason I like them is because they have different editing styles. So they have like 6 different editing styles with a bunch of examples of what those styles are. And you can go in and you basically, when you do an edit with them, you say you have your own profile, and you have 3 styles inside that profile, and then inside there you can choose everything. And they have an entire like spec, like a almost like a Wikipedia page on the terms to use for everything. So it's like, okay, we're going to start with your overall style. You'll pick one of the 6 styles, and they all have names. Put that in there, and then you say, okay, for sky replacement, I want the sky replacement to be like windows. You'll okay, we'll start with windows. So you have like 5 different levels of windows to have, and there's all different examples of those. So you pick that. Then you say, okay, the sky replacement in the windows. Do you want it to be blue, natural? Do you want it to be like an actual sky? If so, here's a whole profile of all the skies we have with the codes for each of them. Then for exterior photos, you say, what kind of style do you want on the exterior? All right, here's the exterior style. What do you want for the skies in there? You put your sky codes in. And there is just like, for twilights, there's all the different codes, and there's just so much customization to it. And the whole reason is that you can pick a different style each time, so it's really repeatable, and it kind of transcends the language barrier for them, because a lot of times you're working with a customer service rep, but the editing team only speaks Vietnamese or Chinese or whatever. And so this is a system in which it translates over to them perfectly every time, so nothing gets lost in translation. You get really consistent results. I have had extremely consistent results with these guys every time. Rock solid. Really like using these guys. I would highly recommend them. And they're fantastic. They're customer service agent. They have like somebody who reaches out to you for your trial. Then you get like assigned a customer experience person, and like they're your go-to person. Their editing is pay per edit. It's not like monthly, but it gets it out of the way. They take PayPal. You can buy credits from them to make everything cheaper if you want to. And I think they're around like $1.85 to $1.95 per edit. But they're great. I cannot say enough good things about these guys, and I'd highly suggest that like you give them a shot and give them a trial if you're looking for somebody really high-end. Solid 9 out of 10. They definitely have some things that need tweaking here and there, but their style is natural. They're very consistent. Their ordering system is really, really easy. The only thing I haven't figured out with them is TV replacements. I need to ask about it. I've just done it myself because TV replacements take me like 15 minutes to do an entire house, if that. And I have my own whole like catalog of photos, so I'm like, well, whatever. But outside that, they're fantastic. They automatically put fireplaces in and do that for me. That's been super, super nice. So I really like that. But I'd highly recommend Ursin Editing. Yeah, if you guys want to go over and see any of them, I can show you. I think I have a lot of the files from those. But yeah, we can go over it. Oh, excuse me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions about editors. If you want to talk a little bit more about it, things like that, and we can go over it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Keep the comments coming. I really appreciate all you guys' supports. It's been pretty cool to talk with you guys and grow and kind of help you guys figure out some of the things that might not be working for you, that are working for you, whatever. We'll just go from there. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next one.